One way of solving quadratic equation is by extracting the root. So let's just try to remember or review what we know about square root property. It states that if the square root of x equals c, then the square root of x equals c, or square root of x equals negative c. Example, if we have square root of 9 equals 3, it could also be square root of 9 equals negative 3. Checking, 3 times 3 is 9, and negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. We are now going to solve this quadratic equation by extracting the root. So we must follow this format before doing anything else. Make sure on the left-hand side we have the perfect square number equals constant here. Okay, so we need to get rid of this one by adding negative to both sides. So we'll have x squared equals 6 minus 6 equals 0, or x squared equals 0. Once we attain this format, we are now ready to find the square root of both sides. So extract the root. Square root of x squared is x. Square root of 0 is simply 0 because 0 is unsigned number. For this number, again, let me write here, it must have this format where this is a perfect square equals a certain constant. Okay. So we need to get rid of this, put it on the other side. We have 9x squared equals 16. So 9x squared is perfect. 16 is also perfect. Okay, so we can simply get the square root of both sides. So we'll have here 9x squared has the square root, which is, let me erase this, 3x equals either positive 4 or negative 4. But we are after the value of x. So if x is positive, then we'll have, if 3x is positive for x, then we'll have x as 4/3. If x is negative, then we'll have, so 3x equals negative 4, then we will have x equals to negative 4 over 3. So these are the two solutions. You can also have it this way, where from this point, let me erase this, and let's just compare the answers. So we have from this, we did this a while ago, let me repeat that. 9x squared equals 16. If we divide both sides by 9, then we will have here, let me write here on the side, x squared equals 16 over 9. And then we now get the root of this. This white color. Square root of x squared is x. Square root of negative of 16 over 9 is 4 over 3. And then there are two roots. For this positive, it's positive root and it's negative root. Again, remember we are finding the roots of quadratic equation, second degree equation. There will be two roots. It may be identical or um, distinct from each other. Okay, this one, again, be reminded that you must have a perfect square here number and another constant here. So let's try to move this away by transposing it to the other side. So we'll have 9x squared equals negative 16. We can divide both sides by 9. So 9 divided by 9 is 1. So we'll have here x squared equals negative 16 over 9. And if we try to find the square root of this, we know it's x, right? But is there a square root of a negative number? None. So that means we can say that there is no real root. Okay? You cannot multiply a number to itself and get a negative result. However, if you try to go farther, there is no real root, but there is a root which is not real that belongs to the complex number system. In the complex number system, you have the square root of negative 1 exists there is called I, letter I. So that means I times I is negative 1. So if we're going to further this one, we will have square root of x squared. So we can factor out, or we can have negative 1 times 16 over 9, and it's the same as square root of negative 1 times square root of 16 over 9. Therefore, if we take the square root of this, square root of x squared is x equals positive, negative. What is square root of negative 1? It's I, right? So it's I square root of, no, no more square root because we can extract the root of this. I for square root of 16, 4 square root of 9 is 3. So we will have positive negative I times 4 thirds. Or where do I write that? Here, let me write it in a better way. So we'll have x equals positive negative 4 thirds I. So again, this may not be required for a moment, but later on when we deal with radicals and the complex number system, you have to write your answer. You will have to write the roots as positive negative 4 thirds I. But for now, we can simply say no real roots. So I'm I would like to show how it looks like for its graph, but never mind. We'll have a separate lesson for that when we study quadratic function. Okay, so here there's no need to kick a number out to the other side because it's already there is a component here which is perfect. Okay, perfect square equals a certain constant. So what can this is perfect, this part, so we can just divide both sides by 2. So such that dividing both sides by 2, we'll have here x plus 4 squared equals 18 over 2 is 9. So perfect constant. Now we are ready to extract the root of, it doesn't look nice. Maybe I'll use yellow again, or this one. So you get the square root of this and square root of this part. So x plus 4 times x plus 4, the root of that or the square root of that is simply x plus 4. Square root of 9 is either positive or negative 3. And then we're not solving for x plus 4, we're solving for x. So your x plus 4 could be positive 3, or your x plus 4 could be a negative 3. And then we perform the operation. This becomes negative on that side. So 3 minus 4, our x equals negative 1. Here we have x plus 4, negative 3. This becomes negative on that side. So x equals negative 7. These are the two answers. You can substitute negative 1 to the original equation here. Also negative 7. The left hand side and the right hand side must be equal. Okay, so what do we do here? Again, the format is we have the perfect square here equals a certain constant here. So let's kick this out, put it there. So we'll have 2x squared equals 25 plus 11. So 2x squared equals 36. We need only something of x value, or we don't need the constant there. So let's try to divide this by 2, divide this by 2, then we shall have x squared equals square root of it's equal to 18. Then we take the root of each side. Square root of x squared is x, and it's either positive or negative square root of 18. You're already grade 9, so you will be required to simplify your answer. How do we simplify this? So you can write x equals positive, negative. You can expand this as a product of two numbers, or one of them is a perfect square number. Like for example, 9 times 2. Okay, so you can extract out square root of 9. So x equals positive, negative. Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 2, let it retain there because you cannot remove it out. It's not a perfect square. So you have two answers, positive 3 square root of 2 and negative 3 square root of 2.